Even when Atlanta coach Arthur Smith retaliated with his backups, Mike Tomlin remained steadfast in his choice to start quarterback Kenny Pickett and other Pittsburgh players. Tomlin stated, "I just think it's hard to box without sparring." The Steelers Pickett in the early knockout. The Steelers dominated the Falcons 24-0 on Thursday night in the last preseason game for both teams. Pickett directed 2 touchdown drives and demonstrated that he and the Pittsburgh starters are prepared for big games. In his brief but effective playing time, Pickett completed 4 of 4 passes for 86 yards to cap the only drives he directed. Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren also scored on the ground to finish the drives. With Pickett at the helm, the Steelers, 3-0, scored touchdowns on each of their 5 preseason drives. "I believe it is evidence that the preseason work we put in paid off," Pickett said. Tomlin claimed that Smith holding out his starters had no bearing on his decision to continue with Pickett and other offensive starters for 2 series. "What the Joneses do is irrelevant to me," Tomlin stated. "We'll proceed as we normally do." Before Harris scored from the one on the first possession, the second-year quarterback completed throws of 33 yards to Diontae Johnson and 35 yards to George Pickens. Pickens, a former star at the University of Georgia, reached up for the sideline catch inside the 5 despite Natrone Brooks of the Falcons giving him close coverage. Regarding Johnson and Pickens, Pickett remarked, "They're both great players. I wanted to make sure I contributed and made a play for them." Before Warren scored on an 8-yard run to end Pittsburgh's second possession, Pickett had a 16-yard pass to Harris. When pitted against Pittsburgh's first-team groups, Atlanta's reserves were outclassed on both sides of the ball. Smith emphasized that he will go into the regular season with confidence despite this. Smith stated, "I feel the team has got an impressive feel to it in all phases," adding that the Falcons' late red zone turnover and the early huge plays by the Steelers were a bad recipe. On Atlanta's opening drive, backup quarterback Taylor Heineke was sacked by T.J. Watt for a loss of 7 yards as quarterback Desmond Ridder watched from the sidelines. On Atlanta's opening snap, linebacker Elandon Roberts dropped running back Godwin Igwebuike, costing the team 4 yards. After 2 drives led to a 14-0 advantage, Pickett was replaced by Mitch Trubisky. On Pittsburgh's third possession, backup running back Anthony McFarland Jr. produced a 31-yard run that led to Chris Boswell's 38-yard field goal attempt. In the second quarter, a 5-yard scoring run by McFarland increased the margin to 24-0. With about 2 minutes left in the half, Pittsburgh made its first punt. When Steelers free safety Kenny Robinson recovered a fumble by Falcons running back Carlos Washington Jr. at Pittsburgh's 8-yard line in the third quarter, the Falcons, 1-1-1, missed a chance to score. As the third quarterback on the Falcons roster, behind Ridder and Heineke, Logan Woodside made one more effort to make the team. In the second quarter, Woodside took over and played the remainder of the game, completing 24 of 31 passes for 196 yards. He received 4 dismissals. Smith remarked, "I thought he performed well." Late in the game, linebacker Quincy Roche struck Woodside, causing him to fumble. For Pittsburgh, Toby Ndukwe made a comeback at the Atlanta 25. On Tuesday, teams must reduce their rosters to 53 players. The Steelers were dominant in the first half of the statistics, especially with their starters on the field. In the first half, Pittsburgh outgained Atlanta 253 yards to 55, with a commanding 128-5 advantage on the ground. McFarland gained 55 yards on 10 carries. In terms of overall yards, the Steelers won 310-199, including 175-40 in the running game. Matthew Bergeron, a rookie left guard for Atlanta, was one notable player in uniform, but he merely observed, which served as affirmation of his place as the starter. The Syracuse second-round draft pick rose when Matt Hennessy's season-ending knee injury on August 16 forced him to retire. Who will play swing tackle in the Falcons' offensive line behind starters Jake Matthews and Caleb McGarry is another unanswered question. The Falcons may search for assistance after roster cuts the next week if Jalen Mayfield, who can also play guard, doesn't earn the position of swing tackle.